Good evening, fellow vapors. Vaping newbie here on a very hot and muggy night in Montreal. Um, Reason for this video, it's going to be a review, an overview, with a surprise. And but before we even start that, I should apologize because when I started doing these videos, they were supposed to be tailored at people like myself that were relatively new into vaping, had some questions, and may have been confused or too shy to get them answered, and they wanted to know about products. And I've sort of gotten away from that because as I evolve, I went with it rather than sticking to what I actually enjoy doing, which is talking to newer vapors, and I still consider myself a newer vapor. There's always something to learn, folks. And I want to thank Andy for that. That's Andy is a friend of mine on Facebook and pointed out to me, and he does reviews. He's got a really good web page, and I'm going to put a link to that underneath here. But he pointed out to me that when's the last time you did a new video for newer vapors? And you know what? He's 100% right. Most vapors these days still use that Ego Twist battery, and they still have the same questions that I had in January, February. So that's, I guess, my introduction. I don't do music before them for the most part, so that's it, folks. Um, and this is a really happy video, and it's a long, long time coming. My hair is getting all furry here. The reason why is because it's really dedicated to the first mentor that I had in my, pardon me, in my vaping journey. And his name is Shai Bay. And Shai, I hope I pronounced that name right. If I didn't, I deeply apologize. And it all stemmed from when I was starting out. I had my Ego battery, and I wanted to know what the next step was. And I posted on a forum and got 112 answers, and it confused me more than answered the question. And so I Googled about vaping in Canada, and the website dashvapes.com popped up. So I clicked on that website, and in the bottom corner of their website, they have this little chat room or chat line, if you will. If you need help, we're here. And so I went in there and I started talking to this guy, and he told me, MVP2 and a narrow tank. I bought those, and I was elated, and that's Shy, and consider him a friend. And I've never met the man. I hope to, if I can get the vape can, I hope to meet him amongst others. But I really do want to meet Shy, and sort of started this friendship, and continued about 2 weeks later when I was talking to him, and I write him about golf. I'm sorry, about hockey, and I was telling him that I golf, and the MVP, though it is nice, I wanted something a bit more protective, and he started talking about this unit, and we're talking about the Itaste VTR, and I know there's probably a lot of videos on here, but mine's gonna be great. Um, it comes in this really nice presentation box, cardboard, leatherette, metal, and I wish I could figure out how to put a handle on it. And everything is packed in foam inside. You get this paper that gives you instructions on how to get rid of batteries and electronics and such. And it comes with an instruction booklet that, like most men, I don't read. And of course, there's the VTR itself, and it comes with an iClear, at least this one did, with an iClear 30. So we're going to talk briefly about that as well. And then it has an extension tube, and we're going to see how this comes into play. So let's look at the unit. It comes in two finishes, stainless steel, and it comes in camel green. So this is the stainless steel because I like that stainless steel look. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. I've heard everything about, oh, it's a fingerprint magnet. It's in your hands. Of course, it's going to take fingerprints. I have very few things that don't take fingerprints. So it's not that big a deal. And if I choose to just keep it on a shelf for a while or display it, I'll take a cloth to it. So it's not the end of the world, okay? It is a heavy unit, okay? But I've heard people call it big. It's not big to me, folks, and that's my opinion. Because when you're using it and you put it in this hand, you really don't see it. And I don't have big hands, so that's not a big deal. And I think more people think I probably have a flask in my hand than I do of a vaping machine. So think of that if you're beside a cop car and you start doing this, you don't want them to think you're drinking. And you know what? I can easily put that in my pocket. It's not a big deal. So all that brouhaha about the size and the weight, sorry, it just doesn't wash for me. I think it's actually a very good size and weight. We're just going to take a little tour of it. On this side, you have the LED screen, which is right there, which you'll see in a couple of minutes. And then it just has this very bright, in this case, stainless steel. I know the camo has the camo in there. And then on this one, it has a lines painted on. It's not etched or anything on either side. And then on the back, it's the same thing. You have that lines that are painted, and then a design that's painted in the center, which I actually kind of like. It looks kind of nice. You have the fire button here, oops, on that side. So there you go. That's the on off and fire button. And on t'other side, that's where your tank fits. And you'll notice it has a ring right here. Now let me just take this out. And there you go. It does have that ring there. So that's like a tank protector. And on the bottom, this is the second version of the VTR, but here on the bottom, there is a roundish ring, if you will, that has a bit of grooves in it, but it doesn't turn. And I'm really glad, because if you were spinning that, that would just drive me nuts. So this is fixed, but you'll notice it has a 510 connection. It does not have a Ego threaded connection there. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So the tank just slides in and it fits in. It's a 19 millimeter tank. Again, we'll touch on that in a moment. It's a 19 millimeter opening anyhow. And and then on the top here, it has a dial and a button, and we're going to show you how that works, or what works there. But it presses 3 times, and on the button itself, you get a light show, and then you see the word on. And I'm just going to do that again. And you'll see here on this, you get the famous Inokin light show, and then the word on. And then if I push this button in the center of the dial, it's going to tell me the resistance of my coil that I'm using. So this is 1.6. And now it's showing me the voltage. It is a variable voltage and variable wattage machine, or I should say variable voltage or variable wattage machine. So when you press that, you get the atomizer resistance, so that's the A, and then the V, which looks like a U, for your voltage. If you press that, and we're just going to wait again, and press it again, you now get, hopefully you can see that, a P 9.5, and now you're in the wattage. This does not round robin. It will go from 3 watts all the way up to 15 watts. If you want to do volts, it goes from 3 volts all the way up to 6 volts. And to dial in your voltage or wattage pleasure, there are plenty of places online that you can get a schematic drawing of the best or the recommended voltage or wattage for what you're using. It does not have a puff counter. Don't really care. But the one thing I wish it did have would be to tell you how much power is left, or the rating of your battery. Um, when I'm using the SVD, I can press and see, okay, it's 3.6, time to put a new battery. I don't know what this, so I don't know how much juice is still left in the battery. I wish it had that, so it's the only downside that I can find. On the bottom, it has the latch for your battery. It takes one 18650 battery. So this is an AWIMR. I had that upside down, I'm sorry. And I got this at Dashvapes. It's a 2000 mAh battery, so it does last a good amount of time. And it's an authentic AW battery. And again, it does come with this tank. Now, let's talk about the iClear. Now, this is really hotly debated, but I'm not a big fan of the iClear or the Inokin tanks. But if I was going to buy one, I certainly like the iClear 30S above the others, because I have tried the iClear 30, the 16s. I haven't tried the 30B yet, and they have a new one out, and I'm very sorry, I cannot remember the name of it. And I haven't tried that yet as well. But I switched this out for an aero tank and was really glad that I did. So we're going to be looking at that in a minute. But we're going to switch over and we're going to put in that tube that I was showing, that extender tube. So when you do that, I am able now, because if you look at that opening where that guard ring is, if you will, right in there, that's a 19 millimeter opening. And what happens is, if I want to use my K-funds, I can't. The K-fund's about 22 millimeters. So you think, uh-oh, no, I could put that on, and now I can easily put on my K-fund without any issue at all. Okay, there you go. It's on. Looks quite good, actually. Now, the other thing that I want to show you about this tube is it has a beauty ring. If you take that beauty ring off, I'm now able to use it in the Ego style threaded. This is an EVOD, Ego threaded tank. There you go. So let's put it on, and we'll give that the EVOD. I have some juice in it. No problem. So it is a handy, it helps you use many different tanks. And of course, if you want, you put the beauty ring on over it. However, if I'm taking this off, I am taking off the beauty ring first because I want to make sure that the juice doesn't stay there. We'll take that out. We'll put in the eye clear. And this is the eye clear 30. And we'll give it a whirl. As you see, it does its job. I mean, you'll get a taste out of it. And folks, it's very important you point something out here. This provides the power. This provides the flavor. Okay, so keep that in mind. It works fine. I mean, it will work, but it just, and perhaps because I was spoiled by the Aero tank, the original Aero tank had a really good taste to it, and I just stayed with that. But if I put the extender tube back on, and the beauty ring, and I put my K-fun on it. Oops. You want to make sure you don't cross-thread it or put it on crooked. So I'm getting that really good flavor. Now, this is a regulated mod, so there's not a heck of a lot you can do wrong with this. But one of the things, and I find one of the big benefits to this, even though I'm using a rebuildable tank, is some juices are probably better at lower voltages. So right now I have this at 6 volts. So we're going to switch that over. I'm going to drop that down. So there I have, there's the P for power. So that's wattage. And once you go over 10, the P disappears. But at 10 watts, I'm getting some very good flavor. Now, I can also dial this up. Now, this is a 1.3 ohm coil, but I'll also dial this up to 15 watts. So it does have a kick to it. And you get a slightly different taste. So one of the things that I find is a benefit to this is that depending on your juice, you can still easily use rebuildable atomizers on this, and it'll work really well. So if you're just getting into rebuilding, this is a good option to use. Now, what I'm putting on here is a deck of a K-Fun that literally just disintegrated on me. You can see half the deck is missing. So I put that on, I press a button, and it says no. Now, the great thing about that, folks, is when I am building a coil, so if you're getting into that aspect of it, you make a coil and you make a mistake, you put it on here, it won't work. It'll tell you there's a mistake. You put that on a mod without any protection, a mechanical mod, you could be causing yourself some problems, okay? So this has that built-in protection. So I really like that aspect. It's solid. It's, really tough. Yes, it has a bit of weight to it, but that just makes it more solid to me. I can easily put this in the golf bag. So that's the Inokin VTR. Again, it's about $95 at dashvapes.com. Give them a look up. Like I said, the link will be down below. Give them a look up. They have some amazing products on there. And I'm going to tell you, I want to give a shout out to Shai and the Dash Vape team because I've only really spoken to Shai. But the Dash Vape team is a really good team. Very customer service oriented, a lot of knowledge, and some fantastic products, as well as some juices. And now you're going to get a chance to try some of them. Thanks to Shai and the Dash Vape team, well, I'm able to offer you a contest. And I haven't been able to do that in a while on YouTube. So here we go. This is what the contest is going to be. You're going to send me an email. You're going to send it to vapingnewbie@outlook.com. That's vapingnewbie, N-E-W-B-I-E, @outlook.com. You're going to put in the subject line the answer to this question. What are the last 4 digits in the Dash Vapes phone number? They now have a brick and mortar shop. They've had it, like I said, about a month and a half, 2 months maybe. So they have a phone number. Put in the last 4 digits in the subject line. If you want to write me a note in the text part, please do. I always love hearing from you guys. And this is what you're going to be able to win. You're going to be able to win 3 bottles, 30 milliliters each, of the Dash Vape brand juices, your choice. And then this one floors me. Dashvapes.com is authorized to sell 5 ponds, Gambit, Queenside, wow. And they're throwing in 1 bottle of 30 milliliters of 5 ponds. You're gonna love this stuff, okay? I gotta get some. I'm waiting, save up my pennies. I'm getting some more because it is really, really good, and they have the full line. Now, folks, one thing I should point out is because of the way that the whole 5 pond thing works, they may not have your strength, your flavor the day that you decide to order it. You got to just be patient with them. They always got stock coming in, but it's a phenomenal juice, and I'm so happy that Shai and the team are able to offer that for sale, and definitely for the contest. So again, simple question: what are the last 4 digits of the phone number for Dash Vapes? And put it in the subject line, vapingnewbie@outlook.com, and send me a note. I always like to hear things, so let's see some comments down below. I'd love to hear some comments down below. So before I sign off, I want to give Shai and the team at dashvapes.com a massive thank you. Again, Shai, you know you're so up there with me. It's phenomenal. You came to my rescue several times, and I really appreciated that. The team at Dash Vapes, I hope to meet you guys one day. And if down below, I'm going to also be putting in the link to my Facebook page, Vaping Newbies. It's a phenomenal group of people. Come in if you haven't joined, sign up and get into the discussions. There's some good discussions. There's some good education. There's a bit of comedy, and a music video breaks out once in a while. And so again, thank you, dashvapes.com. Thank you guys for listening. You know I like spending time with you. Stay healthy and happy vaping. Shoot, I should point out that I'm going to be drawing this contest July 17th. Okay, so get your emails in. So again, happy vaping and stay healthy, folks. Nice talking to you.